All right. Attempt number two. Accidentally made a mistake when I set the channel audience. I accidentally misclicked for kids, and that restricts my the ability for chat to have discussions in chat. Now that we're back, let's go ahead and I guess restart. So hi, I'm Van Van. I like to screw things up a lot. No, kidding. As I was saying, the future for the channel, the focus for the channel from here on out is going to be less about gaming and more about building my portfolio as an IT professional. I currently work in a service field that I'm not exactly the happiest in. And so last year, last year I sought out to pursue my other passion, which is IT. I love everything about computers, everything from hardware to software to even dabbling in development. I've done a little bit of Minecraft plugin development and stuff like that. Started to dabble here in Python recently just because I felt like it. I had this urge to. Give me 1 second while I update my... Actually, we're going to go ahead and just load this one in. You guys aren't seeing this. Shh. You see nothing. You see nothing. Anyway. Is it okay? Okay, perfect. Glad you were able to tell me. Let me go ahead and get that turned down a little bit. And then yes, go ahead and ignore the commercials because yeah. We're gonna see. I don't know if that. I don't know if the chat in OBS is even going to show anything. I'm gonna go ahead and take that out for now. I'm gonna rework all that stuff later on, as we get a little bit more professionalism here in the channel. Anyway, to continue, so YouTube now is going to be my platform to build my portfolio as an IT professional. I'm going to use it to advance my knowledge in the IT field as I also finish my studies. I'm currently attending kind of like a vocational school at my computer career. It's a year-long course since I'm doing the PM classes, and I'm going to come out with... I think it's a total of 8 certifications by the end of it. Everything from CompTIA to MTA, which MTA is the Microsoft Variation certifications, and then also a Linux certification. Right now I have 3 of those certifications. I've got my A+, my MTA Security, and then I just got my Server Plus, my CompTIA Server Plus last week, which was probably the most stressful test I have ever done. And the only reason it was as stressful as it was because it was a 100-question test in 90 minutes. Do the math. So it was less than a minute per question that I was answering. There were some points, some questions where I wanted to go back and review those questions, but couldn't because I didn't have the time. I set them to go back and review them, but I got about halfway through the test, realized I've only got 30 minutes left, and I still have another 50 questions. So I just started pumping out answers and got to the review screen, and I was like, I've got a minute left. I don't have time to go over these. But I had to go back and review a couple questions that I didn't finish answering. I had only selected 1 out of 2 answers that I was supposed to select. And so by the time I finished reviewing the questions that I didn't fully answer, I had 15 seconds left when I hit finish. I kid you not, when I was going through that CompTIA survey, the end of the exam survey, I was stressing out. Even going through the survey going, there's no way I walk out of here with a dub today. No way. I was like, this is definitely a sure L. It's like, at this point, I guess it's okay that I'm getting the experience of this exam specifically, because the A plus was far easier. I'd a lot more time in the A plus, both part 1 and part 2. I felt like I actually had a little bit more time to review my the questions that I wasn't quite sure of. I could go back and review. Just things were a little bit different. But when I finally got through that survey and it told me that I had passed, my butt cheeks were still clenched. I was still sitting there in the chair looking at the screen going, this isn't real. There's no way I passed this exam, when I swear to you, 75% of those questions, because I was rushed, I was guessing the entire time. I was kind of one of those kids going through there going, B, C, B, C, B, C, maybe an A, B, C, B, C. Let's go ahead and throw in a D. But needless to say, I did go through, and I did walk out of there with my Server Plus, so I was extremely excited. This past week actually started my network class. So right now I'm actually studying for my CompTIA Network Plus and my MTA Network certifications, which are going to be awesome. Both of these certifications will help lead to my goal for career, which is going to be cybersecurity, is where I'm aiming for. I'd like to be able to get into the cybersecurity field. I'm kind of liking the out of the jobs I've looked into, I'm kind of liking the pen tester. And for those that don't know, pen testing is it's short for penetration testing, which I know sounds really perverted to those with a sick mind. But it's actually a way to test a system's security and try and poke and prod and find its weak points. And basically what you're doing as a pen tester is you're finding those weak points, so then you can go back and patch those and harden their system more and more to help prevent their system from being hacked and having data breached. Yeah, right. That's when I heard that pen testing was penetration testing, I cried a little bit with tears of laughter too. It's definitely something that intrigues me in the field. I would love to be like a malware analyst or stuff like that, but I feel like penetration testing, being able to go in and actually helping companies harden their security system even more to help prevent data breaches, that's definitely an end game goal right there. Like knowing that you're doing your due diligence to help make the internet more secure, not just for the average user, but also for corporations that are offering beneficial services. Even something as simple as Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Doing pen testing for companies like that would definitely be a really awesome job to land. But there are several different areas of cybersecurity they can go into. Some people even the more common one would be ethical hacking, but that's more of an offensive take to cybersecurity. I don't know that I want to quite be offensive in my cybersecurity career. I wouldn't turn down getting the certification, learning how to do it for the sake of knowing how to do it. But I definitely think that a more defensive approach, more kind of a blue guy approach to cybersecurity is what I want to pursue, which is where I'm aiming for. So I'm actually planning on using YouTube now as a platform to build my portfolio as an IT professional, which I did state already. And basically, I'm going to take these live streams that I do with me taking and learning how to do certain projects and how to build and play with certain IT aspects, everything from hardware to some software to server to networking, stuff like that. I want to build a portfolio so that when I walk in and start doing interviews for stuff, I can link them and show them my YouTube page on my resume and be like, hey, I've got a YouTube page that I've been doing and advancing my knowledge in this field. Here, check out some videos of what I do and how I've advanced and how I started from ground zero and come up to the way where I can walk into this office confidently and go, hire me because I know that's a little bit egotistical right there. got some disconnection, reconnection issues going on there. I may have a couple of those tonight. For tonight's project, I set up a temporary network switch, basically just a router. It's an old modem that's no longer being used as a modem, and instead I'm just using it as a router so that I have extra Ethernet ports. So when we get the Raspberry Pi up and online, I can connect to it from my computer instead of actually having to hook a mouse and keyboard and screen up to the Raspberry Pi and do it that way. So I'm basically going to do all the programming and stuff, what's referred to as headless, where there's no hardware. It's literally just the device, and I do all the work from my computer. Which the warden sarcastically was like, well, that's not technically headless because you're using your stuff. The audio, yeah, well, and that may have been whack. That may have been the OBS kicking out and kicking back in too. It's very possible that that's what that is. I've been watching my mic, and my mic has been picking up this entire time. As far as lag, you may want to reload your YouTube page and see if that fixes it. Let me double check. Hold on. Stream health. It says excellent. It says excellent. Okay. Is that better? Did that fix it for you? True. Okay. Yep. Yeah. It like I said, it's mostly because the router that I'm using tonight it's probably going to be a little bit of an issue. It may cause some hiccups in the my internet connection until I get something set up. My plan is I've got to run to a hardware store here within the next week to pick up some other stuff so I can finish this project back here. I've got the pipe over here, which you guys can't see right now, but it's actually a drain pipe from my bathroom that's actually just above my office-ish, my man cave. And it's the drain pipe that extends off and goes to my main line back here. And I've got a little project I'm going to do for this to make this look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing so that I can actually start putting it in the camera view and maybe getting some laughter out of it too because of my thought process. But I'm going to go ahead and leave that for whenever I finish that project so you guys can see it and you know I can get that first initial haha that's funny kind of thing going on. All right, so I think that is my little bit of an introduction. I do apologize. I know that I've been telling some people, especially in my Discord, that I was planning on doing an introduction video. Honestly, I've been a little bit nervous about doing an introduction video. I don't know what it is about streaming, but streaming seems to be a lot easier than actually making video content, especially when it comes to putting my face on there. But a lot of the videos you go and check, they're like, hey, trust me, a face cam is needed for content creation nowadays because it makes that more personal connection between myself as a content creator and you as the viewer. If I do it, you have to promise not to laugh, Whack. You've got to promise not to laugh, please. No, I am surprising. Like I said, it's a really weird mental game. I can hop in front of a stream, camera on a stream in front of, whoever is viewing and not care too much. But for some reason, the thought process of actually making a video and uploading that video and having my face on that video, it's actually nerve-wracking. Like I'm actually nervous about doing it, and that's what's caused me to procrastinate so much with actually getting an introduction video out is just it's nerve-wracking to have my face in a video, and for some reason in my mind it's different than having streams, right? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I wish I knew why. I wish I knew how to get my thought process a little bit better on that. So for tonight's project, my first little IT project that I'm going to do on this channel, I am actually going to start And I say start because it's going to be a multi-stage project, really. I'm actually going to start building a web server on a Raspberry Pi. This past Christmas, I was actually gifted a Raspberry Pi from my father-in-law. Shout out to him. It was greatly appreciated. I was not expecting it, but it is definitely a gift that can start content creation on this channel as far as IT goes. So I'm actually going to start building a web server on this Raspberry Pi, and I'm also going to set it up to be able to cluster Raspberry Pis in the future. So as I acquire more, I can actually add them to a cluster and then load balance servers on the cluster. And a web server is just going to be the beginning of it. That is definitely not going to be the only thing that is hosted on a Raspberry Pi cluster. There's no reason to build a Raspberry Pi cluster for a single web server. There's just not. So there's definitely going to be a lot of projects when it comes to this Raspberry Pi addiction that he has so willingly started unknowingly. I basically, he handed me the present. I opened it up, saw was Raspberry Pi, immediately hopped online, and I was like, dude, I know there's a lot of projects I could do with the Raspberry Pi. Let me go check these out. Saw all these projects these people were doing, and I was like, I've got to get me more Raspberry Pis. I have to. Exactly. These are going to be some steamy pies, but not steamy because they're not catching fire. No, it would just, no. So if for any reason, because I'm going to be doing a little bit of physical introductions, kind of giving you guys a walkthrough of the Raspberry Pi. If things are a little bit too dark and you guys can't see, let me know. I've got a light up there that I can, up there because my screen's kind of cramped, up there that I can turn on, and then I can also turn the one that's facing to the wall over here, which you guys can kind of see the glare back here. I can turn that a little bit more so that you guys can see that. So please let me know. But for those of you that don't know, here's an introduction to a Raspberry Pi. A Raspberry Pi, if you can see, is a microcomputer. This is a full-size computer in pocket size. So this is an 8 gigabyte. This has 8 gigs of RAM. It does have a like a mobile processor, so the same kind of processor that you'll find in your phones, whether it be Apple or Samsung or Google, LG, what have you. This one was a kit. This reminds you. Honestly, this is better than your Mac. No, I'm kidding. Please, all you Mac lovers out there, don't ream me for that one. I'm not a Mac person by any means. I'm not an Apple fan by any means. I love my Android and I love my PC. But no, this is a very powerful device, and there are a lot of things that you can do with this. Mostly because everything's open source. Basically, you can go and not only physically see all the different projects that you can build with these, because you're either building them yourselves or you're pulling from people that have built them. You can not only see the code that you'll be using, you can also modify that code to benefit you in any fashion that you want it to. So anyway, this one was a kit. As you can tell, I've got a full-size case going on here. In the top here, I do have a fan to be able to help keep the processor and stuff cool. This is the Raspberry Pi 4. On the side here, I know you guys can't see it because it kind of blends in a little bit. I do have two HDMI out ports. These are micro HDMI to HDMI. I've got the cables over here. I've also got the USB-C, which is the power. I've got an auxiliary. On the back side here, I've got the Ethernet. I've got two USB 3.0s. I've got two USB 2.0 ports. And yeah, this is a very, very powerful device. On the end here, I know you guys, again, can't see very well, but you kind of see that divot there. That is actually where the memory card for this device specifically goes. So we are going to start with that. I have to get everything booted up because I actually haven't booted this up yet. I've actually been waiting for this stream to boot this thing up for the first time. Yes, I have patiently had to wait a little over a week to start playing with my Raspberry Pi because I want to stream it and turn it into content. How nice is that? My patience are shot. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so first off, we're going to go ahead and start with, so right here, I've got it's a USB to a micro, if this is actually going to open up correctly. This case is a little bit, it's a little bit pain in the rear to get open up. This is actually a USB to a micro SD reader. So inside there, I've got a micro SD card, which you guys wouldn't even be able to see with the light on. To be 100% honest, that's how stealthy this reader is. All I have to do, take this, plug this into my computer like a standard USB, allow my computer to read it. There's the bink, which you guys won't be able to actually hear. And here is my memory card here. Again, I haven't actually booted this up for the first time yet. But I have to go and pull the operating system that I want so that I can, properly get this thing loaded up with the operating system that I need. So we're going to Raspberry Pi operating system. For those of you that don't know, OS stands for operating system. Fairly straightforward, but you never know. There are some people that don't know that. We're going to I want the... You didn't. Okay, see? Hey, I'm already being more informative. I'm already being more informative than I thought I was going to be tonight, right? So that's a benefit. That's a benefit. Oh, well, that's not nice. That's not nice. All right, we are looking. Here we go, right here. This is the one we're looking for. OS Lite. So we were looking for the Raspberry Lite edition. Yeah, that was savage of you. Horrendous. We're gonna go ahead, let that download real quick. I did internet test myself. I did test my speeds after I got my computer hooked back up to the internet through the modem. I do still have good speeds. Trust. I don't know. I don't know why it's just trust me. I had good speeds. So, no. We've got a... I totally forgot to grab the... better than my Mac. Shh. I'm not judging your Mac anymore. That's going to get me in trouble. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to right now the imager. So basically, what this is writing to the micro SD card for the Raspberry Pi right now. It's writing the operating system to the card. After we get this finished up, we'll go ahead and we will pull the we'll pull the SD card out. We'll plug it into the Raspberry Pi. We'll get the Raspberry Pi powered up. We will let it preload itself. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to let it preload itself, basically boot up, get the operating system going. It's going to load a couple files onto the SD card, and then we're going to pull the SD card and plug it back in. Then we have to make some modifications to be able to get this thing set up for a cluster. I do want everyone to know, fair warning, and I'm giving him a shout out, although I'm obviously not in a position to give him a shout out because he's a lot larger than I am. I am following a guide by a YouTuber named Network Chuck. He is definitely my go-to right now for networking stuff. He is a network engineer, or was a network engineer, and now is a content creator who hosts a lot of different websites and stuff like that. So I am using a guide. This is my first time doing this stuff. If I wasn't using a guide trying to do this, I'd be ripping my hair out, and we're only a couple minutes in. Right? So let's be smart about this. Let's use our resources, because we have those resources on the internet. That's kind of the cool thing about the internet. They're free. The resources are, not the internet. The internet's not free. I mean, sort of. Ish. You've got to... You know what I mean. See? That was faster. Fork. Free. You forgot the air quotes around free, wag. You forgot the air quotes. Some bopping music. I mean, if you want to make sure it verifies all the files correctly, I mean, let's be honest, you're going to want it to take its time. Make sure all those files are verified and good to go. Unless you want to sit there and verify it and have to re-image it 20 times because your computer kept missing a file or corrupting a file. Jam Cat, man. Yeah. We're going to jam tonight. We're definitely going to jam. We're going to have a good time. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited to get my future started. I'm going to be 100% honest. Like, I'm looking forward to this adventure. And hopefully be able to overcome my my nervousness for content creation. Again, it's different getting in front of you guys as a stream. Another story actually making content creation or doing content or YouTube content creation, strictly for all that good stuff. You're missing out on Gamer. Gamer Van Vin is still going to be here a little bit. I'm going to say yes, we do need a... Windows cannot... Okay. Okay. Yep. Don't need to format anything. Because... Yeah, baby. Gamer Vam is still going to be here a little bit. It's just not, like I said, it's not going to be my priority. For those of you who, want to play games with me who aren't whack or any of my other close-knit friends, you guys can. You guys can. If you guys join my Discord, which is going to be my main source of networking. Discord is where I'm going to be mainly networking with. I'm gonna start posting to Twitter maybe soon, sort of. Who knows? But I'm definitely gonna use Discord as my main networking source, just because I'm comfortable using Discord. It's definitely something that I have. It's definitely something I have a little bit more control over personally. Where sure I can have a post on Twitter, but Discord allows me to actually control what goes on in it. Um, for the most part, full control. I mean, as the owner of the channel. Um, so yeah, that's definitely gonna be my primary source for networking. If you guys want a game with me on my off nights, hit me up. Except on Monday and Wednesday. Monday and Wednesday are my school nights, my class nights. So I am not free for gaming, and I won't be. Twitter is hacks. I'm bad. Yeah, dude. Yeah, right. That's all I see is bad juju on Twitter right now. I'm not gonna lie, dude. But I'm not one of those cool kids. As a 30-year-old, I'm not exactly cool enough to have an Instagram or a TikTok. I'm kind of old. Hard to say, but I'm sort of old. So Instagram and TikTok kind of aren't my thing. So Twitter's just kind of the easiest, unless I want to use Facebook. But I'm not that old. Am I? Oh my god, I just had MySpace flashbacks. Anyway. Anyway. We're going to move on. oh. Oh, so true. All right. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take, and we're going to put our SD card in the Raspberry Pi now. Just like that. Nice and tight. Tight like a tiger. I can't do my one thing. I would love to do the thing that I'm well known for in my house, the one statement I'm well known for in my household, but I don't know that I would be allowed to. I think the warden would have to come down and crack her whip if I made that mistake, because that is definitely her statement. So we're going to just leave that one on the back burner, not say it. All right. The really cool thing about this kit, specifically the Extreme kit, was that it actually came with an on-off switch. So most of the time when you're dealing with a Raspberry Pi, all you have is just a power adapter. The power adapter, once you plug it in, it immediately powers on. So every time you need to power off the Raspberry Pi, you pull the power cord. Just as long as it's not one of these Raspberry Pis. Don't eat one of these Raspberry. I definitely don't recommend eating one of these Raspberry Pis. Nice thing about the Switch, I no longer have to unplug it and plug it back in. I can simply turn it on and off with a button, just like your computer. Cool. All right, let me go ahead and bear with me for a second while I get this plugged in. Because again, I didn't do anything. I didn't set any of this up because I was patiently waiting to play with this until I could stream it. I'm excited. Are you guys excited? Let's get this Raspberry Pi online. One day, Whack, I may buy a Raspberry Pi that you can eat. Just saying. Who knows? Who knows? I may. No. Then I'll buy you a pumpkin pie and make you eat it. Just don't test me. That wasn't good. That wasn't good. It's okay. All right. Guys, I found it. You want oh, okay, you do want the Raspberry Pi. Bet. All right. Here goes. Oh, whoops. It was powered on, and then I accidentally. Hopefully, I didn't block it. Where'd he run off to? Places. Okay. So that's got to sit there for about 2 to 3 minutes. And while that does that, we do actually have another project. This project's going to be a little bit more boring, and I apologize. Oof, that is bright. That is bright. We've got to move the light a little bit. Reason is, for those of you who don't know how to do this, we've got to build some RJ45 ends. We have to. Yeah, it was very bright. I know. We've got to assemble some RJ45 ends, some Ethernet ends, so that I can hook this Raspberry Pi into the into the router. The router. I'm losing my mind. So for those of you that have never actually done this before, this is kind of cool. I enjoy doing this. This is actually something I do in my field right now. With hands, dude. With hands, sort of. This is something I do in my job right now because we have our new generator controller, which has swapped from RS-485 to Ethernet. Which I'm not going to go into RS-485. It's basically old school communication wires for building management systems. It was a vastly simpler time. Nowadays we have Ethernet, which we can transfer a lot more data on versus the RS-45. And so I am the one who has basically done this the most in my company. Whenever we have one of these newer controllers to start up, they basically send me out to do the startups on them because I'm me. and I definitely bitch less about it than some of my coworkers that are more kind of like Morse code. Yeah, there's some smoke involved. I don't know that it's the devices smoking versus my head that's smoking, but yes. Oh no. All right. So just so you guys can see right now what I'm doing, I've basically opened up the end, in the end of it, or in a Ethernet cable, whether it be Cat 6, Cat 5e, Cat 5. You've got 4 twisted pairs, and these twisted pairs are a thin copper wire inside. Make sure you are very careful if you're ever doing this with these cables, because it is a single copper strand inside, and if you snap that copper strand, you will screw that portion of cable, and you'll basically have to cut it and start over. So you want to make sure you're very careful when you're doing this. You don't need to be super careful. It's not fragile, but it is a thin strand, and it is very easy to break and ruin that portion of cable and make you start all over again. I have guys, electrical contractors, do it all the time in the field, and they hate it when I go to hook up my annunciator panel, which is one of the things we've got to hook up over Ethernet cable nowadays. And I go to hook it up and go, "Hey guys," they go, "What?" I go, "You forked over your Ethernet cable." They're like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, I just did the ends, hooked it up, and guess what? Our controller can't see anything. Well, maybe your controller's broken. No, it's definitely not our controller because I tested everything over at the generator already. So, good luck. Pull some new cable. It's like a 400-foot run, and they're just like... You can just see the death rise in them. It's funny. I enjoy it every time. This is some trash Roblox music. This is actually not Roblox music. I'd like to make that very clear, Roblox. I am not using your music one bit. This is not copyrighted. No, this soundtrack is actually on No Copyright Sounds playlist on Spotify. No Copyright Sounds, for those of you who don't know, No Copyright Sounds specifically makes non-copyright music for content creators to be able to reuse as long as we give them a shout out. And being that it's on Spotify, I mean, they really hardly don't need a shout out anymore. But moving forward from here on out, we will be unlisting the live streams once we start pumping out YouTube videos, and I will be linking whatever playlist. God, brain farts, man. Comes with age. Just watch out for it, whack. It'll happen to you too. I will be linking the playlist that I listened to during that video down in the description so that people know, hey, this is the music he was listening to. He was safe and smart. He wore protection. I mean, wait, what? This is called the wiggle method. For those of you who are in the networking, you guys know the wiggle method. For those of you who are not, I'm wiggling wires because I can. The wiggle method is actually, so as again, they're twisted pairs. So as you can see in that wire set there, we've got a lot of curves because the wires are wound together, which causes that. Basically, if you take the wire and then wiggle it back and forth and move your finger down it, you can easily make it far straighter. The wiggle method. The more you know. Oh great, we've got bots in chat again. Awesome. You know, and the thing about these bots, right? So it's really upsetting because they only comment once. It's usually gibberish, and then they don't say anything back. It's depressing. It's depressing. I definitely need to get my bot, my bot. I need to get Nightbot set up with a list so that when these bots come in here and make these stupid spam comments, I don't have to come in here and remove their posts because it'll automatically do it for me, right? I'm taking a lot of time to do this, and I apologize. I am a talker. Hacksbot, man. Okay. So, the order that I do these in, and keep in mind there are two separate ways you can do this in, but I do it in the more common order. So, again, I know it's kind of hard to see because of lighting and stuff, but the four colors you have are blue, orange, brown, and green. And then the sister to each of those colors have white. So it's blue, white, green, white, brown, white, orange, white. So the order I do these in is I do brown, white, and then here we go for the get ready. Your mind is just gonna go right. Then we're gonna go blue. Then we're gonna go white, green. Then we're gonna go green. Wait, hold on. No, brown, white, brown. I go green. White, blue. White, green. Oopsie. And now because lighting, I almost messed that up. I almost did green, white, green instead of green, white, blue. Mind blowing up after that confusion. Short circuiting. Can't think for self. All right, brown, white, brown, green, white, blue, blue, white, green, orange, white, orange. That is your basic color orientation when you're doing Ethernet cables. And then we're going to do another wiggle method. So we kind of have this cluster of wires right now, which aren't even at all. Take them, and just like before, just kind of wiggle them while sliding your finger, give them a little bit of a twist, bring them in closer together, stuff like that. You know, just something to get them closer, right? It's kind of a little bit of a cluster, so I'm going to take and I'm going to trim those, the ends a little bit, kind of make it a little bit cleaner, right? So now we've got nice clean cut. And we're going to take one of our RJ45 ends, which you all know as the Ethernet cable. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick it in. All right, and then when you get the cables in, make sure you review your orientation. Make sure your cables are coming out the right way. So we've got brown, white, green, white, blue, blue, white, green, orange, white, orange. Yo. Whack. What were you spamming? What did you spam? Nightbot isn't that nice. Don't spam emojis, man. He does not like it. He does not like it. I definitely need to have his spam thing set a little bit softer. Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit softer. Okay, so we've got our orientation right. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take and we're going to trim those cables down a little bit more now that we've got it shoved all the way in. We're going to trim those cables down a little bit. Right? Clean off the mouse pad so that those trimmings aren't on there. We've got a nice clean thing like that. And then you're going to want to make sure that you've got an RJ45 crimper. Oh, yeah, the emoji spam. Yeah, dude, you can't do that. You can't do that. He doesn't like that, not one bit. So you'll take your RJ45 crimper, stick your RJ45 end through the RJ45 crimper, and then make sure that when you're doing this, make sure that you even the cables out. So right now you can see that the cables are kind of sticking above the plug. You're going to want to pull the cables back through and match them up with the ends, kind of line them up with the ends, and then when you get them all lined up, take and crimp it down just like that, and you, sir and ma'ams, have yourself a nice pretty little Ethernet cable end. Nice and pretty, all complete. So now we're just going to go ahead and bust another one of those out real quick. I'm going to do this one a lot quicker, so this one's going to be less talky. Less talky. I'm just going to go ahead and get this one, get this next one done, so we can get done and back to the Raspberry Pi. So, how's the weather? Man, today was cold. I don't know about the rest of you, but today was cold. I froze a little bit this morning. It's a good thing I wear thermals. If I didn't, oh, jeez, I'd be walking around in very, very heavy clothing. I wouldn't go as far as saying you're cool. That's definitely you're pushing it there. You're pushing it there, Whack. I'm totally kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're cool in your mind. Ignore that. Oh, I will be starting. So this week I will be starting No Man's Sky Expedition 4. For those of you that care, Expedition 4 started today or early today, and I'm wanting to. I am very cold. I'm like the Grinch, man. I've got a heart that's 2 sizes too small, as my son likes to say. No. No Man's Sky is actually multiplayer now. So you can actually work with other players doing the expedition. So no, if you wanted to chill with me doing the expeditions, that's perfectly fine. But I will be focusing purely on just basically finishing the expedition, getting back to my personal save. Just because the expeditions aren't something you obviously do permanently. It's literally just a set of missions to go and do, get some cool unlockables, and then move on. I think it's cross-platform. That's definitely a good question. That is definitely a good question. I want to say that No Man's Sky is cross-platform.
At Target, your dollar goes further. This week, fill your cart with top deals on household essentials. Like get a free $10 Target gift card when you spend $40 on household essentials, like 92 ounces of Tide laundry detergent for $11.99, or Clorox 75-count disinfecting wipes for $4.49. Finish your list at your local Indiana Target today, where low prices and great deals make it easy to save. Prices may vary. Restrictions apply.
All right. We've got both of our ends done. I went ahead and just made a fairly short cable since it's just going to sit here on top of my computer for now, right next to the router. But this is definitely done. So we're going to go ahead and power the Raspberry Pi back down. We're going to pull the SD card out. With the SD card pulled back out, we're going to stick that back in the micro SD card reader. Shove that thing back into my computer. Bring that back up. We do not need to format the disk. decides to bite me and it's not telling me what to do, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna get annoyed. Blinding light! Okay, now we got the light back over on the other side. Nice, nice. Okay. Now, back to the Raspberry Pi, shall we? About damn time, Vam. Jeez. Taking too long, man. All right, so let's see. The next thing we have to do is we've got to modify a couple of the files in here. Okay, so we've got this up. Dude, it takes me 10 minutes just to get one breath in and out. Like, yeah, I'm slow. Honestly, like you should be able to sit there and just watch me, and like you guys can see the loading emblem like in my head. There's no way you don't see the loading emblem as I'm sitting there just kind of like, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to edit the command line. And what we're going to do here is... I'll go ahead and bring this over here. So we're going to go to the end here, right? So... So at the end of here, we're going to put C group underscore memory equals 1. C group. Again, keep in mind, this is more or less for me. Like, I'm learning this stuff too. So if you guys want to learn this stuff, I will put in the video that comes after this, I will put the information that you guys can get. Specifically, the YouTube creators channel that I pulled this from to be able to get this idea and configure this thing to set it up for a cluster and future multiple server uses. You guys can't see that. You guys don't need that information. Although you guys will end up seeing it anyway, so there's that. Just okay. So after that, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, we're gonna go IP equals 9. No, what'd you just do? Okay. 1, and then we're just going to test it, and we're going to do .2. And then we've got to do double colon, and then we have to do my default, right? It's my default. Actually, let's go ahead and modify this. We'll put random number. Then we're gonna go ahead and put in the subnet. And then RPI name. What should we put in? What should we should put it. Pie master. Pie master. All right. That's all that's needed for this one. We're done. We're done. Whack pie. You can, hey, when you get a Raspberry Pi and you want to get server set up, let me know, and you can name your whack pie. Then we're going to open config next. Go all the way down here. We're going to go here. Oh, wait, no, we're going to go here. We're going to go into PowerShell. PowerShell, for those of you that don't know, PowerShell it's basically the command line. It's basically the Windows command line, except it's far more powerful than just the Windows command line. PowerShell, to date, is said to be one of the most powerful command lines that any of the operating systems offer. It is, I mean, Windows administrative command line is basically what it is. We just created a new file right there. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to take that. We're going to take the SD card. We're going to plug the SD card back in. We're going to boot the Raspberry Pi back up. And then give me a second. I know. More off screen because that's what we need, right? All right. Okay. All right, now you guys can see. Now it's empty. Now it doesn't have important information on it. Basically, what we're doing right now is we are pinging the IP address that we set for the Raspberry Pi. Except we're having a slight issue. Hold on. currently trying to figure out why my Ethernet port isn't registering the Raspberry Pi, so it's not actually seeing best of 2021. There won't be a best of 2021. Maybe we'll get a best of 2022. We'll see how this year goes.
Welcome to Allstate, where your savings are always on the right track, and where we still love when those auto rates drop. Because when they do, that's some really good energy. Love when the extra savings hit, don't you? Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on that to see if that Ethernet port kicks in at all. For some reason, the Ethernet port on the Raspberry Pi isn't actually kicking in. So although the Raspberry Pi has booted itself back up, it's not actually registering that there's an Ethernet cable hooked into it, which concerns me a little bit. We may have to quickly reroute the stream if this project doesn't get back on track. So, how's everyone's night going? Going smooth? Going well so far? Everyone ate a good dinner? Delicious food. I enjoy my food. I enjoy my food a little bit. See, this is the only downside with using a headless, is you can't actually see what's going on. And that was the point of doing that SSH, was being able to boot in from my lab or from my computer. Oh, okay, fair enough. That SSH file is supposed to allow me to load into the Raspberry Pi from my computer, basically my command line, and see what's going on. The only issue is if I can't get this thing up and running and the Ethernet port actually connected, I can't load into it at all. So there's that, but it's not even registering that there's a cable hooked into it. I'm almost concerned that my Ethernet end screwed itself up. All my cables are in there, right? Wait, are you having Subway for dinner, Whack? Is that what you're saying? You're having Subway for dinner? I haven't had me some Subway in a while. Nice, nice. What do you like to get from Subway? Oh, come on. I know you like something. Specific meat, cheese, bread type. I like Black Forest ham. Black Forest ham on wheat bread with American cheese, lettuce, tomato, olives. Sometimes I like to get frisky and put some pickles on there. I know, really freaking weird. And then mayonnaise and mustard. That's my go-to right there. And then, to top it off, I like to have it heated. The BL meatballs. So like a BLT, but with meatballs. Oh, okay. I used to work with a guy that liked to eat the meatball sandwiches. I thought it was a little bit odd, but I mean, to each their own. Rightfully so. That's kind of what Subway's all about, right? Is making a sandwich you like. Attempt number 2. Let's see how it goes. We got it! We got it. Let's go. Ha! And we're getting a reply from it. Let's go. Awesome. That's some good news. We just got a dub right there. GG. Heck yeah, man. Okay. So next what we're going to do is we're going to actually go ahead and zone into it, right? So I told you that this is going to be headless, so I don't have to have a mouse and keyboard hooked up directly to the Raspberry Pi, but instead I'm going to be doing everything from my computer. All right, so I'm connected to my Raspberry Pi right now, right? So I'm actually on my desktop connected to another computer that's connected on my network, which is really freaking cool. So if I go ahead and LS is going to be, it's going to list. Okay, it's not going to let me. It's not going to let me actually LS right now. So we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to become the root user.
Shake up your winter routine. Stop by Starbucks and try an iced brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso with shots of espresso and just right sweetness. Shaken with ice and topped with oat
Okay,
milk.
next we
Invite
need
the
to
coffee of your
take
favorite.
and
Order ahead with the Starbucks app.
oops. Okay, give me a second while I figure this out. It should allow me. Basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the original IP tables, the legacy IP tables for it. And it's just telling me that command's not found. That's why we have music while we're doing this, so we can bob to the music while we're trying to figure this out. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and re-log into it, so give me a second.
Every day we train, challenging ourselves and each other to exceed even our own expectations. Go beyond.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to.
Okay, let me see if I can.
You made this mess and left me with
See, he didn't list anything.
now I
Let
want
me see.
all the bridges between us. I can't focus. I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my. I just need to clear
No, the stream slowed down. Oh.
but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this
Yeah, right. Oh, and the big issue is I'm trying to obviously get the legacy IP tables. I'm trying to get access to the legacy IP tables, but for some reason it's not seeing the commands that it should. So keep in mind that this Pi is running off of a Linux operating system, a Debian Linux operating system, and I don't have any of the Debian files. Like it won't even. IP tables. Let me
I'm running away from this pain. I'm trying to find a new way where the sun's shining down on my face. I'm running away. You're in a toxic relationship. Time to be free.
Okay, so I mean commands work.
I'm running away from this pain. I'm trying to find a new way where the sun's shining down on my face. I'm running away. You're in a toxic relationship. Time to be free.
Yeah, see, it's not even listing anything, and list should. So I can't even see. You sneaky, sneaky son of a gun. All the fucking files are hidden. That's why it's not popping up.
Only Shane Company has the best value on diamonds, and my son Rorden and I will always deliver on that promise.
I know I can do this. Hold on. I know I can do this.
Front and buy thousands of diamonds, so the diamond cutters give us first pick of the best stones and the best prices. That's how
You're
we
gonna let me into a
guarantee you
damn
the best
file.
value. Now you have a great jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Okay, now hold on. Oops. Oh, wait, we want to go here. And then we want to go... Yep. Now I should make it very clear that the IP tables command does not actually exist. So that means we've had some updates since the video, and we are on our own. Here's where the real fun comes in, right? Is basically just going through, and we now need to figure out how to swap over to the... No, not F, not F. This is it. This is how we learn. Maybe we'll start there. I'll go ahead and update it first. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Okay, nothing that I see that we actually need to mess with right now in there. All right, so we need to trace down the IP tables. This is going to be fun. This is going to be the experience. Let's do it. Right? This is why we do stuff. This is why we play with stuff. If I'm ever actually going to successfully run a server, keep this in mind. If I'm ever actually successfully going to run a server on this Raspberry Pi, I'm going to need to know the ins and outs. I'm going to need to know where everything is, how to modify files and update stuff and whatnot. So, I mean, this is all stuff that I'm going to have to end up dabbling with anyway. Why not do it now? Okay, yeah, you're good, man. You're good. That is odd.
Only Shane Company has the best value on diamonds, and my son Rorden and I will always deliver on that promise. We buy directly at the diamond cutters. Plus, we pay cash up front and buy thousands of diamonds, so the diamond cutters give us first pick of the best stones and the best prices. That's how we guarantee you the best value. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
I can seat you by the fire. Listen, listen. There's something I must confide. I know I said that it'd be fine. I know I made it look like it'd be alright. But I think I learned my lesson.
successfully updated it, but I'm still missing those IP tables, which is a little bit frustrating, to be 100% honest. I'm trying to figure out where the IP tables are, because I've got the latest kernel, and that's actually what I just did. I just updated to the latest kernel version, and it should all be pre-built into the latest kernel version for this, but it's not.
Give me reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out. You can't get to me. Throw your sticks and your stones, go break all of my bones. You won't ache my soul, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down, but fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight.
A lot of code, a little bit. It's more or less it's a little code, a lot of information. Just to kind of go over what I just did. So I had rebooted the Pi, and when a Pi rebooted, I obviously pinged it to see if it was up. Once it was up, I then I secure shelled into the Raspberry Pi with the IP address that I designated for it. Again, just kind of a lot of information, or not really a lot of information, but just some information here. And then here I went ahead and sudoed back down, so I gave myself basically God abilities to the kernel to be able to access whatever I need to. And again, just kind of let me know some configurations that I need to get set up. And then I tried to access the IP tables command again, and again it's letting me know that IP tables basically doesn't exist. And once again, it's not there. All right, man. You take it easy and enjoy your VR. I'll do my best to enjoy. did that do that? Dude. I wonder how long ago those fell down. Because I've got no clue. I just kind of looked over my shoulder and was like, oh, they fell off. I don't think those are two of the ones. So I've had to go and when I installed those, I used the sticky pads. And I thought the sticky pads were going to be good enough, but the sticky pads did not stick to the pads very well. So they kept falling. So I ended up going and taking and hot gluing them. And those aren't two that I had hot glued. So those are two new ones that had decided to go, I'm going to fall off today. Fun. Oh my god. Oh. We're gonna go ahead and hide that real quick. Oh wait, we don't need to do that. Okay, hold on. Where'd that go to? It just went poof. Where the hell did that file go? Oh no. Oh, there it is. Never mind, I found it.
Hello?
Would you like to play a game? On January 14th, get ready to scream.
Sid, it's happening.
You ready for this? Never. Here we go.
Scream. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent. Only in theaters January 14th.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Yeah. Birds jumping and I hear my name, grasping into a life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a roll.
I have to open up my IDE so that I can read this YAML file. Bear with me.
Lion's gonna come. The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the land. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone.
Welcome to Allstate, where we bring it all together. And bundling your home and auto is good, right? And it saves you up to 25%. It all comes together. Allstate. Here, better
All right.
protection costs a
All
whole
right.
lot
So
less. You're in good hands with
here
Allstate.
goes. Here goes. We're gonna
Allstate.com to save
we're gonna
today.
test it, and we're gonna do it on my phone because my phone's not actually connected to.
Combining the multiple policy discount for having auto insurance with Allstate and the welcome discount savings at enrollment.
Oops. There we go. I forgot the. .168. .1. No. 43. 3.1111. Welcome back. We've got the server up and running. We got it figured out, man. We got the IP tables taken care of. We had to manually install. We basically had to go through and manually just get them, which I knew how to do that once I figured out that I just had to use the app get system. Right now, it's just a web server, so it's just an Nginx web server, and then from there I'll be able to modify and change and add servers and stuff.
14. Get ready to scream.
Sid, it's happening.
You ready for this? Never. Here we go.
Scream. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent. Only in theaters January 14.
Heroes. It's Ash and Alina from Morbid.
We're hosting a new Parcast original show.
A new show. Basically, we take the craziest crimes and the most disturbing criminals we could find, and we'll count down the top 10. We're calling it Crime Countdown.
Thanks to the research gods. Parcast will bring you the grittiest details of these true crimes. Crime Countdown premieres July 13th, but you can follow us on Spotify right now. We'll release something new every Monday.
All right. Well, obviously today we started to learn how to actually get the Raspberry Pi up and running, and I'm currently looking into actually building an Nginx server. So we got a basic installed, but there's not much I can do there. I'm having to go through and actually manually install it and get it up and running to be able to get it taken care of. So I'm definitely going to be doing a little bit of studying over Nginx for next week or so. We will.
Support and new tools to get the job done faster, reduce callbacks, and increase satisfied customers. So whether you're installing tankless, hybrid, gas, or electric,
I'll just basically be doing a little bit of self-study alongside my class studies, and figuring out how to go about actually building the server properly, and seeing what all kind of features I can do with it, because this is totally new to me. I'm not big into Linux yet. I definitely am thinking about it with Windows 11 coming around the corner. I know that there's a lot of people that aren't looking forward to it so much, and there are a lot of people that are starting to look into Linux and seeing what Linux has to offer as far as an operating system. And I'm half tempted to dual boot Linux on my computer with the new M.2 SSD that I just got. So that thought process has definitely crossed my mind to dual boot a Linux from my computer. So we will definitely continue this. We'll give it a few days, see how far I get, to see if we will be able to make another 3 hours worth of basically me staring into a camera-ish area, looking at a screen, figuring stuff out, and going from there. Obviously, this stuff isn't the most interesting to people that don't find it interesting. This is a very particular specialty. This isn't something that piques everyone's interest. It is definitely a small group of people that like this stuff. And I apologize for those that are watching that may have found this a tad bit boring. Setting up the Pi was definitely fun. Obviously, teaching you guys how to do an RJ45 end, stuff like that. That I definitely find that stuff more engaging with you as the chat. But obviously, doing stuff like this again, my YouTube is to now build my own personal portfolio for the sake of moving career paths from service over into IT. So a lot of this stuff that is going to be hosted on this channel is all going to be me self-teaching myself, self-teaching. Basically new technologies that I am, unaware of, or, only know very little of and would like to go more in depth. Everything from, hosting servers to, I want to get deeper into Python coding. I want to learn how to actually make applications with Python coding, and stuff like that. So it's going to be a really odd, weird year for those that are just like, oh well, this guy's he's a gamer, why isn't he playing games? That's why it's going to be more of a professional YouTube page for now. If anything ever happens and YouTube picks up and I can make a little side money with it, I may expand what I do. But that's not the goal with this. The goal with this is not to monetize my YouTube channel. It's purely going to be used to stuff my portfolio with knowledge that I've acquired over the past however long until I can swap careers. And even then, it'll be used after I swap careers. Like I'll continue doing this, monetized or not monetized. I'll continue doing YouTube. I'll continue to develop skills and master some. Dabble in others, and I know I say a lot. I'm trying. My mind is now trying to catch up with my mouth because my mouth runs at 100 miles an hour while my mind runs at 5. So that's definitely gonna. It's gonna be, like I said, a strange next year. Because it's just I started the YouTube channel thinking, oh well, I'm gonna do gaming because I play a lot of games, and I just want to stream those games. but I'm not a peak gamer. I'm not a top tier gamer. I'm a very, very average old dude. Not really old. I apologize for all you old dudes that I may be offended with my 30-year-old bod. Anyway, I don't have the reaction time that a lot of these younger gamers do that are coming into the scene. A lot of them are just their reaction time is so much faster than mine nowadays that I can't be a competitive gamer, and it's definitely harder even as a variety gamer. Like I play a lot of games, and as a variety gamer I feel like it's a little bit harder to come up, especially in today's content creation world. It's variety streamers definitely have it the hardest, just because people generally go in due to one specific thing. So a lot of the viewers, unless those viewers are variety viewers, they're going to go in for a day for the one subject that or the one game that variety gamer or the variety streamer is hosting, and then may not be back until that streamer picks up that game again. So that's kind of my thought process with why I'm not maining gaming streaming, is because I just the challenge of that. I want to be able to play the games that I want to play, and I don't want to have to base the games I play specifically around a stream. I don't want to be that person who builds that specific niche in a single game, and then is no longer able to play other games, because if I do, viewers will disappear because I'm not playing the game that they want me to play. So, yeah, professionalism. Smile. But for now, that is going to be it for tonight. I will basically update the Discord whenever I plan on hosting the next stream. I'm going to work on... I hate to say it. I'm going to work on an introduction video. Maybe. Sorta. No pinky promises. I'll think about it. Still very undecisive. But I will definitely be working on a video within the next week to get a video uploaded to the YouTube page that's not a stream VOD. So, if you guys want to keep up to date, please go ahead and join my Discord channel. You can follow me on Twitter if you'd like. Again, my Twitter is not going to be my main source of networking just because it's Twitter. Discord I have a lot more control under, or control with, so I will definitely be using Discord as my main networking. I will try and funnel all of the viewers into Discord so that everyone can keep up to date with all of my new information. If you'd like, please don't hesitate coming and joining. Hold on. Are you gonna... Nightbot, don't let me hang. Don't leave me hang, Nightbot. Don't do it. Don't do it. There we go. Okay. Go ahead and join the Discord channel. Yeah, I will keep everyone updated in the Discord with the next stream and whenever the next video comes up. So, until then, everyone have yourselves a good night. Make sure you guys stay hydrated, get some sleep, and we'll see you next time.